He will speak to you and he will tell you things to come. There is no greater thing than when God tells you something in the future. It gives you a reason to live again. Oh, yeah. If you could just see a picture of next year, come on. If you could see a picture of your kids growing up, they're married or they're granddad. If you could just see a picture that you're better off than you are today. If you could just see something down in here while you're on the phone. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. This is what I came to tell you. When we are stuck, first of all, we got to admit it. How many will admit it? So if we're in this place, you're marking time, you've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Let me give you a Bible example. John the Baptist, his father, Zechariah. It says he attended to the priest's office faithfully. He was a routine. John was on the clock. He knew exactly what to do. So he was stuck in that routine, the religious routine, formation. He was doing the priestly duty. And an angel was sitting in there one day. He said, John, I want to bless you. God sent me to tell you that God wants to bless you. With what? A son. He wants to bless you. He said, Zacharias, God wants to bless you. He said, I want you to name him John. Zacharias didn't believe it. Because he was stuck too long. And he believed where he was at instead of believing where he could go.
Hallelujah.
He said, all right, you don't believe it? You will not speak.
Right? Yep.
That makes sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You ain't going to be able to say nothing. So listen. Like they call it litmus. He believed it. Mary believed it when the angel came around. She said, be it unto me according to your word. All right, let's do it. I don't understand it. I ain't never been with a man. I know I'm a virgin, but whatever you say, I'm just going to do it and believe it.
Amen.
That's the difference. When we get stuck, we start to articulate and try to define everything with our natural meanings. Because it's logical and it makes sense to us. And logic and making sense to us is a form of control. I'm going too far. So when we're stuck like that, God has to do something. God has to catapult you. Yeah. What is that? It's an ancient military device for hurling missiles. The days of the Romans, you've probably seen it in a movie. They used to have this machine where they would crank it in different movies. You see it.
Yes.
And it had an arm and it had a hand like a glove type thing in it. And they would put rocks and oil and fire in it. And they would crank it up and they would turn the wheel and it would lift back like this. And you get it back so far and it would hurl something against the enemy. It was one of the first weapons, offensive weapons that was used in the Roman army. This took place of spears and arrows. This was like having a bomb back then. It was the catapult. It was a device for launching different things. It means to launch, to throw, to cast, to sling. God says when you and I are stuck, He's coming to catapult you. It means to send through the air, especially with a quick forward motion. It means to place or to send suddenly. Because when that thing came back, the strength of it would just hurl something hundreds of feet. And all of a sudden, the enemy's standing there, and he's fighting with a sword, and all of a sudden, these rocks just explode. Bang, 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 out of nowhere. They go get another bunch of rocks. They fill the cup up again, the arm, and they turn the crank back, and it keeps coming back like this. And as they get it's full of tension, and all the tension that it hurls again, and they keep doing it. God told me to tell you that He's getting ready to catapult this house and this music. Preachers and churches in Dallas. You go to Los Angeles and you think about preachers and churches in LA. You go up to Oakland, you think about this. You go to New York area, you think about this. But who's thinking about Phoenix? Come on. God is thinking about Phoenix. But that's what we're talking about. Amen. Because He knows the timing of where you should be right now. He knows where your church should be right now. He knows if that building project should have been done. He knows if such and such should have been ordained by now. He knows who should be in place. He knows what music team you should have. He knows how much you should have in the bank. He knows how much you should have saved. He knows who's supposed to be in the leadership team doing this, that thing, or the other thing. He knows everything. And what He says I'm going to do, He says, I'm going to make sure that I get you to where you're supposed to be there, but you're back here. You're back here because you're still walking in fear. You're still walking in negativity. You're still walking in confusion. You're still walking in darkness. You're still walking in different things. You're walking in traditions. You're walking in cultures. But I've got to pick you up now because you don't want to do it.
Hallelujah.
Two times in the scriptures, you see David. Number one, David used to sit at Saul's table. Saul couldn't stand it. How did David, the shepherd boy from Bethlehem, from the backwoods, let's just talk about it for a second. The prophet Samuel, here's the prophet's office again. God speaks to the prophet in the Old Testament, Samuel. He says, Samuel, get, old King James, get thee up to Jesse's house. I'm going to anoint one of his sons to be king over Israel. Get there today. Samuel gets to Jesse's house, and Jesse says, Samuel, the elders have heard that you were coming. They were trembling. Did you come in peace, or are we in trouble this time? He said, no, it's good news. God sent me to anoint one of your sons to be king over Israel. Jesse goes and lines up the boys. Shammah and Benadab. They're standing there. Come on, boys. Come on, the prophet's here. Get us up. Straighten your back up now. Come on, it's the prophet that's standing there. Come on. They're standing there. There's a couple of them with soldiers, and they're in Saul's army. That's the problem. But anyway, they're there. And back then he was operating by the hearing of the voice and also by the Urim and the thunder. Two stones that they would carry. If the light shined on the stones, it would shine on their faces. And he would hear. God says, yes or no. And God says, none of these have I chosen. And Samuel said, the Lord has not chosen any of these. He lined up 7 sons. He lined up 7 sons. 7 is the number of completion. 7 means it's full. 7 means that's it. I didn't come for this. I came for a new beginning. And he says, do you not have any other sons? You know, I got one more boy. He's just a little fella. He's out there in the back. He said, go get him, for we will not sit down until he comes. Jesus. Scripture says this in the phrases, and they went and fetched David. Like he was a dog. You know the backdrop of David. They think that David had a different mama than everybody else. David was different, so he kept him in the back room in the closet. He ain't look like Daddy. He looked like somebody else. And they brought David in front of him. And as soon as David stood in front of him, the Lord says, arise and anoint him, for this is the one. David comes from singing songs in the field, fighting bears and lions, to stand in front of the #1 anointed man in probably at that time in the earth. Of all of Israel. So what is that called? Catapult. That's right. Brought him from where he was to where he should have been. And so what happens? They go on. Saul has trouble in the kingdom. Demons are manifesting and messing with his mind. They said, we've heard of a man that when he plays, demons back up and the presence of God comes. Let's go get him. Saul says, find him. They go back to David. Just the same God has this gift where he plays music and sings songs. They bring him before Saul and he starts to play. Saul says, oh yeah. Demons start to leave him. Oh, thank you, God. Saul don't know, but thank you, God. Demons start to leave him. Saul says, listen, you need to stay with me. I need to have you around in case this keeps happening. He says, well, I can train you. What had happened again? David is catapulted. David doesn't return. He stays with Saul for a season. He returns back home, and then a war starts out. For 40 days, the giant of the Philistines, Goliath by name, comes and challenges the people of Israel. He says, send down a man that will fight me. Who's man enough to fight me? It says for 40 days he came and challenged and agitated the men of Israel, and no man moved. Oh, but they looked good. Yes. Come on. They had armor. They had bling. They weren't moving out of their place. So God speaks. Oh, the message is going wild, but God speaks again to apostolic authority. Who's the apostle in the story? Jesse, his father. Because it was Jesse that had to bring him before the prophets. And God speaks to Jesse to send David. He says, David, go down there and see how your brothers are doing. He take these cheeses and this bread down there and tell me how Bibles going or whatever. Go see how your brothers are doing. They ride down there back with a little donkey. See, they were stagnant. He was in motion. And so he gets there. He says, fellas, how's the battle going? They didn't want to tell him because they were so entrenched. He said, what are you doing down here, David? What are you doing? Did you come to see the battle? And when did you leave those few sheep in the wilderness? Go back and get those little sheep. You know, you're not a man like us. You're not even supposed to be down here. He said, isn't there a call? He said, I just came to see my brothers, my family. It says, at the time David said that, Goliath stood up and David heard his voice. Yes. Stay with me. What ends up happening? He challenges David. Who's going to fight me? Who's going to defy me? David said, who is this? He talks to him and said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? He probably went like, who is this? And all right, he probably said, who is this fool? You got armor. You know how to pray. You know how to intercede. You got the buildings. You got the Cadillacs, the money. You got this and that. And who is this? David had no armor, nothing. He said, I'm going to whip your tail. I'm going to take your head off. And I'm going to boss, like he says, I'm going to boss you up. And then the brother said, wait, David, you can't fight him. He's a soldier. He said, send him back to Saul. He said, Saul, look, somebody's out there defying your authority, the honor of God. And Saul says, well, take my armor, put my stuff on me, because this worked for me, because I've been in church for 55 years, this worked for me. And he said, no, I can't take this. I can't take this. He said, what are you going to use? He said, I got something. I got you something. He said, but you're just a youth. He said, he's a man of war from his youth. You're just a boy. Don't worry about it. He said, Saul, let me tell you something. He said, when I was back there, way back there, before God catapulted me the first time, he said, a lion came after one of my sheep, and I killed him. He said, then a bear came, and I killed him too. He said, and this uncircumcised Philistine, today his head is going to fall off. I'm going to bust his head. The threefold stagnation. I didn't come up that way. I'm different. I'm a new generation. I don't look like you. I don't sound like you. I got somebody else talking to me. But I know the one that has the voice that leads me to the future. But you know the story. This is just part one. He goes back. He says, listen, I gotta get something here. I know how to get lion, bear. He said, oh yeah. He said, nice brook here. He said, let me get 5 smooth stones. And I'm gonna put them in my bag, shepherd's bag. He said, I'll go fight him with this. He picks up 1 stone, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got a feeling that he picked up the apostle. And the story probably had an A on it or something. You know, God probably, hey, this is the one. He only needed 1. He picked up the apostle stone because he said, I'm going to take your head off. And the apostles are the head. Prophets are the mouth. You know how that goes. I ain't about to say that no more. But he says, I'm going to fight you the same way you want to fight me. 1 stone. Here it is. He takes it and he starts to swing. And it's the velocity in the sling. And once he begins to wheel that thing, it picks up speed. And he knew that he could hit the hairs off of an animal 50 yards away. He said, he's not that far. And the Bible says he starts to run towards him. He's not doing this. He's not standing there like, come on. Old conventional fight, come on. No, he says, I'm coming for you. Because greater is he that's within me. Now I'm going to get to the main part of the lesson. Now let me down to sleep. The thing is this one. The catapult factor is so critical for us right now. So critical. Why? Because not only was it the velocity of when he pulled it back, but the catapult machine, when it's pulled back, the more it's cranked, it produces a resistance, a mechanical resistance, that as it's turned, the arm starts to slowly come up, come up, come up. And what gives it its ability to hit something that's far away, watch this, is the tension. I said it's the tension.
That's right.
Now you wonder why you've been going through hell. Everything's coming left, everything's going against you, everything's negative, everything's dark, everything. But God's got control. God said, God, I can't take them. Oh, yes, you can. My son doesn't want to live right. My daughter's running the street. And every time that thing turns and another thing produces tension in your life, that arm, you don't get it yet. You're starting to rise. Because it's the tension that pushes you back and swings you all the way back. You ain't hearing me. And God will put backbreaker tension on some of you. Some of you want to lose your mind. Some of you want to quit. Some of you want to give in. Some of you want to say, forget this. I'm out. Some say, I don't need this in my life. It's the tension that's in you. The rejection, the fear, all the torment, the anxiety. God says, come on. Come on. I'm setting you up for a fight because I'm making you a weapon of warfare. Mortgage ain't paid for the church. The rent ain't paid. Lord, they gonna cut the lights off. Lord, how we gonna make it through? How we gonna make it through? God, I can't take no more. Jesus, please help me. God, Jesus. He brings you up out of nowhere. See, the trick to it being a weapon of warfare, when it's bent all the way back, the devil can't see it. So he's looking, he sees people's heads, but there's this thing lying down like this, and he doesn't know it's getting ready to go. And what did they put in the catapult? Smooth stones. Foundation blocks. The Word of God. That's why you've been going through what you've been going through. You're being catapulted. Later on, David makes it past the Goliath battle. And he starts to hang at Saul's kingdom because he had to be mentored. Kings have to be mentored by kings. Whole nother message. You didn't hear that one, God. You don't understand that we're a nation of kings and priests. So who has the right, the knowledge, the ability, the unction, the anointing to train you the best? The king. Jesus. Because kings have to be trained by kings. David sits at Saul's table. They're eating. He becomes the mighty warrior. Saul's killed his thousands, but David has killed his tens of thousands. 10 times what Saul ever did, whatever Saul had. And Saul was stagnant in the system, but David was always in motion and moving. Got so bad that the jealousy rose in Saul's brow. He wanted to kill David. He said, David's taking my land. David's taking my daughters. David's taking my honor. He's killing more people than me. The next thing he's going to want is my crown. Oh, Jesus. Sometimes that's why, when you get generationals together in church, one group doesn't want to help the other group.
That's right.
You're too young boy, you don't know what you're doing. You don't even know the word yet. I start saying all kinds of stuff. David has a friend in the house named Jonathan. And he says to Jonathan, he says, listen, David runs and leaves the table. He said, my father was looking for you. He wants to kill you. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, tomorrow meet me in the morning. He said, I'll be out here. He said, if it's too dangerous for me to come back, he said, bring a young lad with you and shoot an arrow. He says, if it's okay for me to come back, shoot it in front of him. He said, but if it's not, shoot it behind him, ahead of him. The next day comes, Jonathan comes, David's hiding in the bushes somewhere. Young lad is there, and Jonathan shoots the arrow. The arrow flies past David. He knows he can't go back. He has to go forward in his future. What makes that arrow fly is the string on the bow. And it's the string on the bow that as it's pulled back, the tension is there. And he pulls it back and he lets it go. You're an arrow tonight in the hand of God.
Amen.
God has been pulling you back and bringing you back, allowing some tension so you can go much farther than you ever dreamed you'd go. To God be the glory tonight. I've been so blessed in my life. Married for 34 years. Pastored lands and properties, millions of dollars. Been all over this earth preaching. But in the beginning, I went through a whole lot of things. God was pulling me back. He was stretching me. I was the arrow in that bow. He said, look, keep pulling back. That's straight. Tension I can't take anymore. When you understand why you're going through what you go through, know this. You're being catapulted. And that means God picks you up from where you are and takes you to where you should be. Close with one picture. You always see it sometime in the story. That little kid that's cranky, that is stuck in one aisle, that candy aisle, and that little baby's crying, and a little 2-year-old, it wants what it wants, right here, right here. The mother says, come on, you're not getting that. You keep crying, keep crying. The mother may go, two segments down where the sauce is, the meat sauce or whatever, or the noodles are sold or whatever. And the little baby's back here and grabbing a bag of candy. Mother eventually says, you know what? I had enough. Come here. Takes them to where they should be. They settle down. You all right now? This is where I want you to be. Not back there. God is telling everybody in this building, I'm picking you up tonight. And I'm placing you to where you should be. Watch the word. Your life is going to go through an acceleration that you've never thought of in your life. Things are going to begin to happen quickly. It's almost going to be like a force that's pushing you into destiny. It's coming like a wind to move you forward from this night forward. You're going to look back 2 years from now and say, I used to be over here, but now I'm over here. Watch how fast things start to take place in your life. Watch how fast things start to happen. I can talk to you all night. I want to talk about myself, but there's times I'm at places and I'm saying to myself, what am I doing here? Because folks, I told you I got saved in a room. That's my witness. I had nothing. I had no preacher that night. I had no choir. I had no altar call song. Didn't have the normal things. I didn't have anybody laying hands on me. Receive, say, I didn't have any of that. It was silent. I never went to Bible college. The only degree I have is in film and television. Never really used it. A little bit. Way back. Never went to Bible college, but yet I've preached to professors. Didn't have a passport growing up as a kid, but I've preached in 5 of the 7 continents. He's allowed me to see the world, the real world, China, you name it. I forget all the places now. It's been a long time. Brazil. We know so many people around the world. All over the world. All over this country. I stopped counting. One time I counted, I preached in 70 cities. And that was about 10 years ago. It's probably about 150, maybe 200 cities. United States I've preached in everywhere. Idaho, you name it. Odd places, man. Because I've been catapulted. That's what he wants to do with you. It's the wind that comes, the Holy Spirit. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will take that which is mine and show it to you. He will take of the authority that I have and give it to you. And he will show you things to come. God tonight wants to visit every one of you personally and as a corporate house and show you the greatness that's lying ahead. Because the greatness is up ahead and you're walking right into it. And your children will walk into it. Don't be discouraged if you got tough situations with business. Don't be discouraged. They'll walk right. They're walking right into the future. And they won't miss it. Because the same God that saved you, saved me, it's the same God. It's going to save them. Are you ready to be catapulted? Does it make sense to you? Yeah. You give God some praise. I don't care if it's college. I don't care if it's, I don't have the money for tuition. I don't care if it's jobs. They didn't acknowledge you. They didn't pick you. I don't care if it's land and buildings and property. I got a story for every category. Every category. I'll tell what Bishop always tells. Bishop Robinson always tells. I was at his church and the young lady was there and I don't know, the Spirit of God revealed to me she was going to go to college and the Lord told me to tell her. He says, you're going to go to an Ivy League school and they're going to pay for the entire thing. Full ride. Well, he tells the story. It's funny because he says, when I said that to her, he was like, huh. She came back to him a week later and she calls him Papa, I think, something like that. Pop-Pops, yeah. And she said, Pop-Pops, guess what? I got accepted at Brown University. Full ride. And I think the word was they're going to even give her $40,000, and she had $40,000 to spend.
Wow.
Doesn't matter. I don't care if you're here tonight. When the word comes, that word can produce everything that it's sent to produce.
Amen.
And it does it every every single time. Some of you might be here, men and women of God tonight, pastors. You may have a building, yes, Lord, a building campaign situation, a building project situation. You may be looking for property to land. We went for 15 years. 15 years. Leasing facilities. 15 years. I got a word one day from a prophet. It said to me, you're going to have two locations. One will be able to feed poor people, another one where the rich would gather.